morning, sir, and my fellow classmates. I'm Sharon. Today, my group is going to present on the topic organizational miscommunication. Our presentation consists of an introduction on a case study of a misleading banner, which will be covered by me. Next, Jermaine, he will be doing an analysis on what are the causes of the miscommunication. Third, Junkit will be presenting on what some of the possible solutions. And finally, Renghua, he will be sharing some of the learning points and annual paper conclusion. So to begin with, let us take a look at this promotion poster. Upon reading, can I have a show of hands who actually understand what is this promotion poster trying to say? Anyone? Okay. Can that guy over there raise out your hand? Sure, what do you actually understand what this promotion poster trying to say?
It says that if you buy 10 large pizza, you get a small free animal.
So in your opinion, what do you think the animal, free small animal they are referring to?
Probably the hamster at the side of the...
Okay, thank you very much for your sharing. In fact, this was actually a real case that happened in Australia. The poster was actually put out at one of the Pizza Hut outlets at Mount Waverley. And here, let me share some of the comments which was being posted by the netizen on the Pizza Hut Facebook page. Let's see. For example, what kind of small animal are they referring to and what are they giving up as? Are they alive? Is it legal to do so? Okay. In fact, and in general, the comments are negative, slamming the offer of giving up free small animals as disappointed, disgusting, and disgraceful. With the uproar on the various social networks like Twitter and Facebook, it actually brings the attention of the Oscar law and Australian Animals Rights Group, and it was only then the poster was being removed. With the above mentioned, an interview was conducted by Daily Mail Australia. A spokesman from Pet Story was interviewed, and he said that the poster was put out in haste and it was not proofread. And also, on the Pet Story Facebook page, it was mentioned the word kit was actually missed out due to printing error. However, my group feels that there are more to it. It is not mere printing error, as we can see. The image used on the poster is a real animal. Why not using the animal kits instead? And since it is a partnership between Pizza Hut and Pet Story, why isn't there a Pizza Hut logo shown in the whole poster? And with that, I would like to hand over to Jermaine, and he will do a deeper analysis on what my group has shared, what my group has done. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Our team has identified the key commercial events leading to this unfortunate incident in the form of an IPO diagram. Essentially, the inputs are the wrong selection of words and the inappropriate picture that was used on the banner, which led to the processes, which led to two major negative outcomes, which is a negative customer response and Oscar's law being activated. So let us now analyze what is the root cause to this problem. To do that, we will use the fault tree analysis method. Fault tree analysis method is a graphical method that uses the combinations of events, describes the combination of events leading to an undesired outcome. Because in every problem, there may not be only a single root cause. There could be multiple root causes, and sometimes one root cause may be more dominant than the other. So this is the fault tree that our team has identified. On top of the tree are the two major undesired outcomes. So our team thought, what are the events that led to these two negative undesired outcomes? On the surface, it's the misleading poster, but as we delve deeper, technical fault, organizational miscommunication, and work politics were further identified. There could be a printer technical fault, which resulted in the omission of the critical word kit from the banner. There could also be work politics at play, where rival colleagues would sabotage each other to get ahead. But in order to have a closer examination, a closer scrutiny, we will focus on organizational miscommunication. Firstly, the poster was not proofread. This is admitted by the Pet Story of the spokesman of Pet Story. And what were the cause of it? It's because of the lack of initiative in the Pet Story staff, and there were no proper standard operating procedures. Secondly, improper flow of information, say from one department to another. How many of y'all have played the game of passing the message? Let's do a quick demonstration. when you have a passing the message, the original message is this is the original message, half-boiled egg. So let's see what happens. Half-boiled egg. As you can see from this quick demonstration, it can be seen that very often when we play this game, the last person that reaches the message will be totally distorted. So what could be the causes that result in the distortion? There could be two reasons. It's either the person receiving the message made assumptions, or it could be the lack of communication skills of people passing down the message. So the learning point from this is that we must be wary of the barriers towards communication. And thirdly, perception. Our team feels that perception affects organizational miscommunication, both internally and externally. Pizza Hut is a multinational company. Pet Story is a small medium enterprise. Both work together to form up this network. These two companies have very different organizational behaviors, business cultures, goals and strategies, which could affect how they worded the banner. These two companies did not anticipate the public reactions when the banner was being put up. And to add on what Sharon had said, in our globalized economy, there's a diversity of cultures, mindsets, experiences, and prejudice that shape the perception. In the multi-generational world, which consists of Gen X and Gen Y and baby boomers and so on, perception can differ quite greatly. Take for example, Ernie and Bert, the famous best of friends on Sesame Street. That's what the older folks would say. But if let's say I call a Gen Y guy to perceive this, Ernie and Bert may be perceived as they are gays because they are living together in the same house. And access to technology may be another additional point to perception, because with the prevalent use of the social media today, things can go viral very quickly. Likewise, miscommunication can go very viral quickly too. So we have now reached the bottom of the tree, where we have identified the root causes of this problem. I will now hand over to Junkit, where we will come up with the proposed solutions and strategies to eliminate this root cause, or at least mitigate them.
Thank you, Jeremy. With the help of the 4 tree analysis, we were able to identify lack of initiative and excessive assumption as one of our main root causes leading to misleading poster. A study done by the Harvard Business School in 2013 shows that initiative is what sets effective middle manager apart in any organization. Because this piece of information may seem commonsensical to many of us. However, what is not so commonsensical to us is how to encourage initiative in the workplace. Because this can be a complex process, since employees respond differently based on their past situation. To change the mindset of the first employee, we need to make sure this employee feel connected to the company. We can encourage employees' engagement through regular outings, for example. Once employees start to develop a sense of connection to the company, companies should also recognize them. And companies should not stop here. They should not neglect failed ideas too. Instead, they should acknowledge the risk in which employees have taken for the benefit of the companies. When employers do their job to initiate a working environment which will inspire initiative, employees should also do their part to avoid assumption in their work environment. The consequence of assumption is underestimated by many of us today. Some of you may remember this incident, Fukushima nuclear incident, which happened in 2011. This incident was triggered by natural disaster like earthquake and tsunami. However, the investigation panel called this a man-made disaster. Why is this so? Let's find out the answer from the summary report submitted by the investigation panel. Firstly, there was an assumption that human employees were better than robots in the cleaning up process. Second, there was also an assumption that the plant cooling system will continue to work after the tsunami attack. And the final assumption is that natural disaster of such a magnitude is very unlikely. The question is, will this incident be prevented if no excessive assumption like this were made in the first place? Probably not. However, the magnitude of this incident will definitely be reduced by a lot, if not because of this excessive assumption. Very often in the same organization, 2 employees can share the same objective, same goal. However, approach it differently. There's nothing wrong with the different approaches. However, if one of the parties take the initiative to clarify by asking, so what do you mean by giving away a free small animals, probability of miscommunication can be reduced. Even if you think you understand the conversation, it is also beneficial, it's also useful to verbally summarize what you understand by saying, so what do you mean by giving away of free small animals, for example? And finally, to acknowledge what the other party have said will also reduce the chances of miscommunication. I said reduce because our team think that no one solution is entirely foolproof. However, if we combine a set of solutions together by including employers' effort to inspire initiative, together with a working standard procedure, our team think that we have a pretty good chance to reduce miscommunication in a working environment by a lot. So moving on, I'll pass on the presentation to Ren Huai, who will be discussing why the past 12 minutes of our presentation matters to us as a graduating student.
Thank you, Jun Tae. I'm Ren Huai, and I'm going to present you what we can learn from our discussion of miscommunication in organization. First, let us take another look in a similar case found in Singapore, in which I think have the same amusement level compared to the misleading poster of Pet Story. This is a photo of HDB playground taken in Singapore. What I want you to focus on is the signboard. Strictly no running or playing at playground. Literally no playing at playground. This signboard has garnered a lot of attention from the social medias. Someone had edit this photo and post this picture in the internet. The argument of this picture is simple. Since you cannot play in the playground, why don't you bring your homework over there and study? The signboard has been sitting there for at least 6 years before it was removed. It was reported in the Straits Times last year, and the title is Netizen Poke Fun at No Playing Signs in Sengkang Playground. It was quickly removed upon receiving the media queries, and when the reporter approached the town council, this is what the town council chairman said. We did receive the feedback in the past from young families of newborn children being woken up as a result. So to put it simple, the baby cries, the parent complains, and we ban all the playing at the playground. This doesn't sound right to me. If the hawker center is dirty, then shall we ban all the food and drinks in hawker center? So what was wrong here? Firstly, our team think that the proper message for the signboard should be, please lower down your volume after 10 PM. Thank you. This is not a difficult signboard. In fact, you can find similar signboard in basketball court or some of the hawker center. So what happened in the Sengkang Playground signboard was probably due to the improper flow of information, which demonstrated by Jeremy just now. Second, let's let our initiative. Remember, the signboard had been sitting there for at least 6 years before it was removed, and no one had the corrective action. So far, our group had added a lot of entertaining elements in our group presentation in order to grab your attention. However, in most of the case, organizational miscommunication is not funny. It creates tension between individuals, and it cutting down the working efficiency. And in the worst case scenario, it creates disaster. Besides the Fukushima incident mentioned by Jun Tae previously, this is another tragedy of Avianca Flight 52 crashed in 1990. In this accident, the Colombia flight pilot assumed that the Kennedy Airport Air Traffic Control Tower had already aware that they are running out of fuel because of long waiting time in the air. In fact, the tower didn't aware of that. They gave them a landing instruction in which the plane had insufficient fuel to execute it. Very sadly, the plane crashed down due to running out of fuel, and it caused 73 people dead. Finally, our group represents you what are the common root causes found in most of the organizational miscommunication. And in conclusion, this is our proposed strategy toward effective organizational communication. First, never make assumptions. Second, take the initiative to clarify your doubt. Third, use a standard operating procedure in the organizational structure in order to serve as a guideline during working. Last but not least, register for HW0310 in order to learn more about professional communication. With these useful tips, I hope it can help you in the future in your future working career. With this, I will end our group presentation. Thank you. Any question?
Did you ever find out why the poster didn't have the Pizza Hut logo?
No, we didn't. But according to what we see on the Facebook and the internet, they actually said that the Australia Pizza Hut, the outlet HQ, actually didn't approve this promotion in the first in the first place. That's why you will see that the poster was actually only put out in this particular outlets only. So this is actually due to some miscommunication in the organization and lead to this poster actually put out. And I believe the HQ doesn't aware of it. That's why they doesn't put a logo over there. Yeah.
Just to clarify, you mentioned about the Liviana incident and the plane crash down, right? How is that organizational miscommunication? Because to me, it's more like technical problem in which that they cannot receive the message. So how is that organizational miscommunication?
The Avianca flight is from Colombia, and in the Colombia language, when they say we have the priority to landing, for them in the Spanish language, it actually means that they are in the emergency state. And for the English speaking of the Kennedy Airport, they don't think this is an emergency. They think that the FM pilot should say that they are in an emergency of running out of fuel. They didn't aware of that, so they just put them behind and push them behind.
So any
Yes. No, I just no. Did you find out in the end who was responsible for creating this pet? Sorry. Yeah. I mean, who was responsible for? I mean, if Pizza Hut hadn't approved it, who was responsible for this rather ingenious idea of giving away pets? It's quite clever, actually. But it's dangerous because it's a live animal and you can give it to the wrong person. But it's quite clever. Did you ever know who was it? The manager or who was responsible for it?
The fact is Pizza Hut did not approve. In fact, they put out this poster before even going through the approval by Pizza Hut.
Right.
So based on what a spokesman from Pet Story said, it was put out because they never follow the standard operating procedure by submitting it to Pizza Hut HQ for approval before they put out the poster. So it was entirely Pet Story, not Pet Story.
Yeah, because Pet Story actually stand out and then said that apologized and said that sorry because it was put out in haste and it was not proofread. So we believe that it's supposed to be the Pet Story, and the Pizza Hut side they will just apologize to the public for the miscommunication and say that they will deal with this seriously, but they didn't mention more in why causes this.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but it's dangerous because you give it to the wrong person, they'll treat the animal and kill it.
In fact, based on the Pet Story statement, they say that they only have 4 rabbits in their shop. They are actually selling the pet accessory. So they are in their we believe their main business model is not selling animal. It's just selling the animal kit. So it's really misleading poster because of
Dangerous, they might use the animal for pizza topping. Well, thanks very much.
Thank you.